Robert back at the studios of WCMT taking care of us. Again, Skyhawk Talk radio program from Snappy Tomato Pizza. Big Orange Hotline will come up a little bit later tonight. Let's look back at what happened in the Ohio Valley Conference this last weekend as we look at the Ohio Valley Conference football report. Coach, here are the finals. You can comment whenever you want to jump in there. The conference team certainly had some tough games at Louisville. Eastern Kentucky falls 44-7, and Louisville ranked number 8 in the standings going into this game.
Yeah, the thing that stuck out to me on that is Louisville only rushed for like 70-something yards against Eastern Kentucky, so that's kind of concerning. They got up a lot of yards throwing, but still, to hold Louisville to, I think it was 78 yards rushing, that's bodes well for Eastern Kentucky.
Wisconsin shutting out Tennessee Tech 48-0 in that.
You know, that's probably similar to our game. I mean, Wisconsin probably more of a smash mouth, and so I think Tennessee Tech only probably had less than 200 yards total offense. So, that's not going. Doesn't hurt them in the conference race, and I'm sure they got a big paycheck.
Tennessee State wins over Florida A&M 27-7.
Yeah, I'm sure they're happy to split those first two games, and I think their quarterback was suspended for the first two, and so now I guess he'll be coming back. So don't really know how good they are yet, but I'm sure I know they got a lot of returning players.
So difficult in these non-conference games, Coach, because it seems like you're either playing a team at a different level higher or a different level lower. It's tough in the OVC to schedule non-conference teams that are right at your level.
No, it is, and especially where we're located. I mean, it's either a long trip or we're right here next to the Missouri Valley, which makes it difficult as well because of the Southern Illinois and the Illinois States are outstanding programs.
Southern Illinois falls to Eastern Illinois 40-37. This one goes to double overtime.
Yeah, Eastern Illinois got it going. I mean, that's 2-0 and beat San Diego State. And I think Garoppolo threw for 400-some yards again. They won double overtime. That's the difference right now of them and everybody else is having that 50-year quarterback. It's like us last year. It's just it overcomes your other mistakes. Do not get as magnified because he can overcome them.
And it's funny that it's not just a senior quarterback; it's a fifth-year quarterback.
It makes a lot of difference. I mean, that's just one more. You picture it like this. That's probably about almost 80 more meetings. Of hour-long meetings, and so at least time spring and fall practice and camp.
When you redshirt a quarterback at that freshman year, what do they do?
Run the scout team usually. They go through all the different individual drills. They're in every position meeting, although they may not understand, even what's being said. But still, eventually, even through osmosis, it starts to, make sense to them. And
reminds me of being in stat class or algebra.
Oh, yeah,
or something
exactly, and stuff. But they're in every film session. And every once in a while you call and ask them a question, and of course they don't know the answer, but at least you know that they're awake and not sleeping in there. And and that's always fun. Is that like Khalid Higgins is our redshirt freshman quarterback this year, and so Khalid, what would you have done here? Well, he has no idea, but still, it stimulates the thought process, and it'll benefit him in years to come.
I just can't. We've talked about this before, how difficult that position is.
Yeah.
From an emotional standpoint, because you have to be a leader, but also from a mental standpoint, because you just have to know, and you have to make those decisions so quickly.
That's the number one thing. I mean, you could be a smart guy and have everything memorized and know where everybody's going to be, but the decision-making process, that's why in the NFL, those 28 guys or 30 guys, whatever it is in NFL teams that are starting NFL quarterbacks, there's a lot of guys that can stand there and throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
They're different shapes and sizes, but the guy that, like a Drew Brees and Peyton Manning, the guys that can get you in the right protection and then in a split second know where to go with the football based on what the defense just did and throw it accurate. I mean, that's a hard skill.
The thing that always amazes me the most is that from the stands, maybe it's easy to see because of your perspective, but when you're down there on the field, how your vision, your peripheral, and your ability to scan everything that's going on so quickly in the register, that's fascinating.
And if you watch it on tape, actually, when you get to go back with the remote and you're able to see, my goodness, how did he know to go with the ball? How did he see that? Or, he threw the ball and it went to, about as big as a shoebox. Mm-hmm. And that's what's really fascinating to watch.
What quarterback has impressed you the most, all levels, pro, college?
I mean, Drew Brees, how can you not? Excuse me, Drew Brees and Peyton, and those guys right now that are in their heyday. I mean, it's just, it's awesome because the NFL game is just so fast.
I wonder how much at that level, if you look at somebody like Drew or Peyton, how much time they spend, even at this now, watching game film and preparing.
I'm sure it's probably what I do as a coach now.
Yeah.
It would have to be. Now, we'll say this, the NFL, the picture is a little bit cleaner, if that makes sense, because they're so good at throwing the football. You're not going to see very much one high safety pre-snap. You're going to see two high safeties, and they're going to play their cover two, their Tampa 2, because those quarterbacks and wide receivers, if you play one high safety too much or play man-free too much, they throw for 800 yards. Because in the NFL, remember, you can't touch them after 5 yards.
Right.
So you got world-class athletes running routes, getting open. Those corners are good, but my goodness, you can't run with those guys that long. And so that's what's amazing to me is to watch. But it's a more sterile game in the NFL than it is in college because of the different levels of quarterback in the NFL compared to college level.
Coach, other scores from the OVC: Jacksonville State over Jacksonville 48-13. That was in Jacksonville.
They had a kind schedule. They're kind of getting themselves going. I think they had Alabama State, and then now that Jacksonville, who I think they're still non-scholarship. So got off to 2-0 as well as should be.
Murray gets the win over Campbellsville at Murray, 83-14.
Good schedule win for them, and so they got the new quarterback transfer from Ole Miss. So I'm sure they're trying to get him some experience under his belt.
At Ole Miss, Southeast Missouri falls 31-13.
Hung around. I'm sure Ole Miss probably wasn't happy. I saw they had 400-something yards, but didn't just blow them out. So Southeast Missouri, they're one of those teams that just hang around, and they can beat anybody in this league.
And then finally, Vanderbilt wins over Austin Peay 38-3. That one in Nashville.
Must have improved from the week before, and they're a team that, with the stadium being built, they need to play these games, and so I think they've got one more. They got Ohio University as well.
Just got a text from our listener Paula in Greenfield, who's a big fan of yours and hadn't had a chance to make it over. But she wants to know, when you play a better team or a team at a higher level like Boise, how can it make your team better?
I think when you handle it the right way and you realize that, first and foremost, it can give you confidence when you see that this team's on national television and talked about on ESPN. It can give you confidence that you can go match up toe-to-toe. You not have to listen to the coach tell you that you can do it. I mean, you've always seen that. I think the next thing is it forces you, if you handle it the right way, and some of our players did, pay attention to detail. It really does, because if a guy's bigger and faster and stronger than you, and you don't take the exact right steps, or your eyes aren't in the right, aren't in the right spot, you're going to get beat because of the physical mismatch at times. And so I think it does make you appreciate your coaches more, and you see, just your physical ability didn't allow you to make that play. You were coachable and you executed, and and then anytime you're in a hostile environment like that. We don't play in environments like that. We don't play with you got the jumbotron that's loud and the stadium's rocking and stuff. And so when you have success and when you quiet that stadium down and you're able to come together and overcome those things, that's just something you put in your back pocket that hopefully will draw on that experience.
It's like playing in the zone or focusing.
Yeah, exactly.
Block out the distractions.
Well, it's you against everybody.
Yeah.
It's you against the world, you and your teammates against the world, and that's when you overcome that, that's some neat feelings.
It's been a long time since I've seen that much blue and orange.
Well, I told our players that orange was for us, and so, but the blue is what got us.
We'll take a break and come back and look ahead to Saturday's game with Coach Simpson. Skyhawk Talk from Snappy Tomato Pizza on the UT Martin Skyhawk Sports Network.
When it comes to customer service, product quality, and product knowledge on building materials, Home Builders Mart strives to take care of you the best way possible. At Home Builders.
Yo, Chris,